The subjunctive in Spanish is the number one thing intermediate students struggle with. What is the subjunctive? When do you use it? Why do you use it? Todos tienen miedo del subjuntivo. Yo soy Esteban, estoy emocionado de que estés aquí. Yo no creo que el subjuntivo sea miedoso. Al final de este video, espero que entiendas cómo usarlo. Did you see that? The subjunctive is actually way easier than you think. It seems hard when you try to memorize every single situation you'd use it individually instead of trying to think like a Spanish speaker. So to prove it, today I'm going to explain to you everything you need to know about the subjunctive in 4 minutes. What is the subjunctive? You might have heard things like the subjunctive expresses doubts, wishes, or uncertainty. And it is one of the 3 moods in Spanish, along with the indicative, which states facts, and the imperative for the commands. Or maybe something like the subjunctive shows the speaker's attitude towards an action and it appears when something is not presented as a fact. That's it. That's all you need to know about the subjunctive, except, for the fact that what does that even mean? Instead of trying to understand these abstract concepts, I think it's way better to understand the subjunctive by seeing it in action in a sentence. The subjunctive will usually appear in a sentence that has 2 parts, in a formula like this. Main clause plus que plus subjunctive. Quiero que estudies. Es importante que descansemos. ¿Crees que ella vaya a venir? So notice 2 very important things that make the subjunctive appear in these sentences. First, that the subject of the main clause is different from the subordinate one. I want you to study. It is important, impersonal, that we rest. Do you think that she will come? This is a key part of the subjunctive, the idea that the action is tied to another subject, to someone else's emotions or desires or doubts. The second thing is that the subjunctive will usually be triggered by that main clause. So if you want to know when to use it, you have to focus on those triggers. Once you recognize the triggers, the subjunctive is easy, and I'm about to show you exactly how to do that. But first, let's quickly talk about how to form the present subjunctive. In order to conjugate the verb in the present subjunctive, you are going to take the verb in the yo form of the present indicative. Yo hablo, yo tengo, yo pido. You're going to cut the ending and you will replace it with the opposite vowel of the verb. So E for AR verbs and A for ER and IR verbs. Que yo hable, que yo tenga, que yo pida. Okay, for now, let's just focus on understanding when the subjunctive is triggered. When we talk about subjunctive triggers, we can divide them into 3 main categories: wishes, emotions, and doubts. The main clause may express a wish about the subordinate clause with things like quiero que vuelvas, espero que me llame, deseo que aprendas el subjuntivo. So if you see a wish or a want in the main clause, that's a subjunctive trigger. The main clause may have a feeling or an emotion towards the subordinate clause, like me alegra que estés feliz. Es triste que no me llames. So emotion in the main clause, subjunctive trigger. Or the main clause might show a doubt, like no creo que tengamos tiempo. Dudo que ella venga a la fiesta. So expressing doubt in the main clause triggers a subjunctive. So the indicative mood is like a photo, right? It tells us what it is in reality. La camiseta es roja. Yo sé que su nombre es Pablo. The subjunctive is triggered when the main clause shows real doubt or hope for the future or how someone feels about something. Once you understand this concept, it will be easier for you not to try to find the subjunctive, but to recognize what triggers the subjunctive, right? Things like es importante que, te pido que, es bueno que, and many others. My favorite subjunctive trigger is the word ojalá, an interjection that expresses a strong desire or hope for something to happen. Ojalá que aprendas el subjuntivo. So in short, pay attention to the 2 very important things that make the subjunctive appear in these sentences. First, that the subject of the main clause is usually expressing a wish, an emotion, or a doubt. And second, that the first verb is usually different from the second one. Finally, the most important thing is that you will get it wrong constantly. Dudo que uses el subjuntivo correctamente siempre. Even native speakers sometimes use it wrong. This video will help you get a sense for it, but you need to grasp it instinctively, and you can only do that when using Spanish. So check out the video up here for more Spanish listening practice, but in conversation, don't worry too much about making mistakes. Espero que esto sea útil. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more Spanish. Nos vemos la próxima.